It is a mathematical procedure, and in the optimization we can change the thing depending upon how the factors are available. So everything which is related to this some input parameter and output parameters. So if we change input parameter according to that value, we can get the maximum efficiency or maximum output. So in every field of two types of optimization depending upon the type of algorithms. So one type of algorithm is, we can say, that deterministic type of algorithm, and another type is stochastic, or we can say that probabilistic type of algorithm. So in deterministic type of algorithms, if we implement these algorithms, then every time we can get. But in stochastic type of algorithms, which are basically really very famous nowadays, like we can say that the teaching learning based or particle swarm optimization, b cloney and b cloney, like these are probabilistic type of algorithm. Here, if we our input parameters, or we can say that our uh, combinations of crossover, mutation, or velocity, or we can say that position, then every time we can get the different. Suppose out of 20 we fix 10, and next we design our process only for 10 factors, which are basically, we can say that, the significant factors. Then we design our objective function, the formulation of our objective function depending upon our input parameters, which are basically significant in our process. Then we can change the levels, or we can set the values of those process parameters in working range. Suppose those 10 parameters have some range. That range is, in some equipment, that range varies from 1 to 100, but we can say that the working range is only 10 to 90, because we cannot go up to 100 due to some limitation on the machine and effect of some other parameter. Neither we can run the machine only one because of some production related issue, or we can say that the at the speed of our output value, our output variable will be very small. So we can set our bounds, then choose our algorithm, which type of algorithm is best. Like suppose we can say that the network of bees are very well, so we use that and b cloney optimization. If we want to introduce some crossover mutation, the algorithm is better. And even in this algorithm type, we can also use some statistical intelligence, statistical technique, or we can introduce some artificial intelligence technique, and finally we obtain our solution according to that algorithm. Okay. So before that algorithm, how can we design our experiment? Depending upon the number of factors, we can design our experiment. But what is the procedure? So main the this objective of this planning of experiment, or we can say the design of experiment, is to get the maximum information from minimum number of experiments. So how can we come out with this design of experiment and all other things? These techniques are introduced after the world war, we can say that after the world war ii, after 1945, because at that time Japanese want to introduce some quality techniques so that they can reduce their cost and can get can get the best data from the available resources. So if we want to perform some experiment, at every experiment some time consumed, there will be some resources used. So they introduce this technique to reduce the number of experiments with maximum accuracy they can obtain and maximum data, obviously. So in this design of experiment, we what response we want to calculate, what response we have to investigate, and what will be the conditions of that study. Either those are the machine condition, or we can say that atmospheric condition, or man condition, how many mans are available to do that type of work, and what type of experimental material we want to use along with the same units. So after this, three available design of experiments. So depending upon, one is simple design, in which only this in some software. So in this, our experiments are reduced at half, from 8 to 4. So these are, we can say that, the fractional factorial design. So what will be our purpose of experimentation? Purpose of experimentation is basically, we have to compare our alternative. In that cake baking example, we can basically, if we have two different type of flour, or what will be out of those four, every time we have to observe our response and find out what are the most significant thing, either the x, or we can say that the temperature. The most significant thing can be judged with some analysis. So out of that analysis, we have to find out what will be the optimum value, like at temperature of 50, and flour percentage is suppose 30, then the sugar level is 30, then at that condition we have to get the maximum taste, best color. So like this. So now reduce the variability is another purpose of experimentation, so that we can every time we can get the same result. So that can be implemented in every industry. We can say that the standardization of the things. So that standardization is basically obtained with the help of this reducing the variability. Then these three things are basically responses. Responses are minimizing, maximizing, and targeting. Minimizing means cost minimizing, maximizing efficiency. I'm talking about the general term. If I am talking about being a mechanical engineer, if I am talking about the experimental thing, and suppose we want to increase the production rate, so that is maximizing of things. If we want to reduce the dimensional deviation in something, or we can reduce the residual stresses in an object, or reduce the surface roughness, so that is minimizing thing. Targeting, suppose in every experiment you have to obtain some thickness, a perfect thickness, that is suppose 8.2 or 8.5 in some experiment, but after varying your experiment, you will get the number of result varies from 4 to 12. You did not find the 8 in any experiment. Then at that experiment, in the analysis, you initially set that value, in that case 8, and find out which parameter will be the best to get the value of output as 8. So robustness is basically how much your system is robust to things. If we change the thing, and either we get the same output or not, then balancing trade-off is basically how can we find out the critical to quality characteristic for a required optimization. How can we produce the best taste of the cake? So these are basically our purpose of experimentation. Then how are the experiment design? How can we design? So initially, if we want to find out how much the things are designed, so first, what will be the input parameters? How can we find out in any experiment what will be the input parameters, or we can say that the input factors subjected to experiments, or those input parameters, we can say that these are the input parameters on which our process depends. Then after that, another thing is not depend on our hand, the levels. If we can check that the example of oven, the temperature is set, maybe in some machine you cannot change, but in some machine it is set at 40, then 50. You cannot set it at 45. That is the machine limitation. So we can set either 40, or we can set another 50. So these are, in this set we can set the levels. So we cannot design our experiment like this, that one is 40, then 41, then 42. Maybe it is a design in some cases where the machine do not have this type of constraint. But if machine, or we can say that the oven has constraint, then we have to set our level according to the according to the parameters in your equipment. Then structure is basically depends upon the number of factors and number of levels. So if the number of factors as the table, last table, when I show you the sum table, which is basically depend upon number of factors and again number of levels. If number of factors are 5 and number of levels are 2, we can say that 2 raised to power 5. So similarly, the structure depends upon the factors and levels in these guidelines. So the next, what will be the potential traps in this design? The potential traps are basically related to some measurement error. Like if I measure the thing, I want to measure some torque, then at that time I tighten the screw with more stress, my value of torque will be changed. But in another case, if not me, some other person perform, then he does not tighten that much, and the value of resultant torque will be changed. So in this way, we can say that these are unexplained variation. Another is noise factors. Noise factors are basically, we can say that, non-significant factors. Like if we are talking about some material, that material is purchased from one shop, and that lot of, we can say that the batch of that material is different. But when next time I go to purchase some the material, same material, but at that time the company manufacturer supplies some different batch number. So in that case, that is not in our control. So these type of control, we can say that the noise factors which are not in our hand, but we can say that these are uncontrollable variables. And correlation is basically how these two factors are correlated with each other. Suppose there are factors like temperature and time. So temperature and time, how can these two factors correlated with each other? But maybe these are subjected to some third parameter. So these are that third parameter. If they are subjected to third parameter, that is not the correlation, that is causation. Then the combined effect of interaction, that if we increase one factor, decrease another factor, what will be the combined effect on the response? That is known as the combined effect. So these are four potential traps in experimental design. So this is overall, we can say that the experimental design process. So this is more or less, it is similar in the third slide. That is basically the optimal design. So in this, first you have to define the problem, then define objective, then define responses, then design your experiment. After the designing of experiment, you have to conduct experiment, analysis the thing. Then after the analysis, you have to interpret your result. After interpretation, you have, okay. So this is the experimental design process. So basically this is one method, we can say that is a statistical method, Taguchi, which is basically implemented in every field of engineering or pharmacy. So these are some basics of this. Then process optimization, which is qualitative, quantitative, then contribution. Okay, this is quality loss function, which is basically the loss of performance variation is proportional. Loss of performance variation, we can say that this ly, which is basically the loss due to performance variation is proportional to the square deviation of the performance characteristic from its nominal value. Here you can, there are four different things which explain these are the formula. But before, because I do not have so much time, I want to share one software thing. So that is, I already, so uh, okay, this is the software for this design of experiment. So there are here I pick one paper which is already published, but here you can check it. There are three parameters, 1, 2, 3, and there are three levels of each three levels. And experiment are designed, there will be total of 27 experiments. So if you want to learn anything, then pick one paper, operate that software, and try to find out, try to replicate the result, try to, we can say that, try to implement your software in this already set results and find out either your results will come like this, so that you can come to find you can come to know that you have start your software in a proper manner. So this is software mini tab. So here is statistics, then design of experiment, this is Taguchi, then create Taguchi design.